So speaking of tone deaf, I did a video earlier about the Anheuser-Busch CEO basically giving rehearsed non-answer answer to CBS Mornings. Well, what about it if entire network is tone deaf? That entire network being ESPN. This one is just this is actually two stories wrapped up into one. And this is just, in my book, crazy. ESPN to give women's soccer team Courage Award for equal pay fight while defending trans athletes replacing women. Only ESPN could be so freaking stupid. Oh, by the way, keep in mind, ESPN is owned by Disney. The U.S. women's national soccer team is set to be awarded ESPN's Arthur Ashe Award for their fight to gain equal pay, even as many of these same women are fighting to allow men, keep in mind biological men, to replace women in women's sports. The U.S. women's national soccer team will accept their award during the July 12th broadcast of ESPN's ESPY Awards, which has seen lower and lower ratings for the last decade. I mean, literally, like nobody is actually watching this anymore. ESPN noted that the players of the U.S. women's national team settled their lawsuit against U.S. soccer to gain equal pay and won a major victory when the USSF committed to paying them the same as the organization pays members of its U.S. men's national team. Man, that was a big brouhaha a couple years ago. The award, which the team will receive a week before the Women's World Cup kicks off on July 20th in New Zealand and Australia, honors a member or group in the sporting world who makes a difference far beyond the field of play, impacting the world in indelible ways, ESPN explained in a press release. Meanwhile, some of these same female players recently signed a letter demanding that all sports allow men who claim to be women to play as women. So while they are working, on one hand, to force sports to pay women the same as men, they are, on the other hand, undermining their own interests by advocating to have men replace women in women's sports. You just can't make this stuff up. U.S. women's national team star Megan Rapinoe, for instance, signed onto a letter put out by a radical transgender activist group demanding that the federal government and state legislatures pass laws that protect men who want to play as women in women's and girls' sports. The hypocrisy of being hailed as activists for women's rights, even as they also work to tear down women's sports, is thick. If the recent past is any indication, though, not many will see this wonderful award doled out. As noted, the ESPYs award show has been collapsing in ratings for many years. Last year's ESPYs, for instance, lost 34% of the ratings over 2019, averaging only 2.5 million viewers, far below the 3.5 million from 2019. But that dismal number of viewers is even worse compared to 2015 when the ESPYs earned 7.7 million viewers. Now, here's where the second part of the story comes into play. Remember where it said that this award honors a member or group in the sporting world who makes a difference far beyond the playing field. Okay? So ESPN's giving the Courage Award to the U.S. women's national soccer team instead of real-life hero Peyton Hillis. Now, here's where it gets really good, guys, folks, people. They're giving an award to a group of women who sued their employer for more money. Okay, that's the first thing. Now, where the Peyton Hillis angle comes into play is former NFL running back Peyton Hillis displayed some actual courage when he jumped into the Gulf of Mexico to save his son and niece from drowning. Hillis nearly died from the incident, but he survived, as did his son and niece, whom he heroically saved. Not only that, but he fought through some crazy instincts to make sure he saved both children and not just his own son. I think the scariest point was when I'm swimming to my son and I have to pass by him because my niece is in more danger, Hillis told Good Morning America. I knew that I had to pass him up to get to Camille first. If I didn't, then there's no way she would have made it. Following his heroic act, Hillis spent 2 weeks in the hospital. It is 100% a miracle that someone didn't die, Hillis explained. People on Twitter voiced their displeasure over ESPN's awful decision to give a Courage Award to the women's soccer team for filing a lawsuit over a former NFL running back who saved 2 lives. Here's some of the tweets. No disrespect, but how in the hell is this not given to Peyton Hillis, who selflessly saved the lives of his son and niece while putting his life at risk and nearly dying? How in the hell does Peyton Hillis not win this? Bitching and moaning is an act of courage all of a sudden, but Peyton Hillis saving his kids from drowning while almost dying isn't? I mean, these tweets go on and on and on, and they're absolutely 100% correct. If anybody deserved this award, it's Peyton Hillis. Share your thoughts, comment down below if you would, and while you're at it, please smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Hit the notification bell to get notified when my content becomes available here on YouTube. And as always, I thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you later.